Recording in progress.
Chaska Parks and Rec Commission, Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. Call to order. Roll call, please, Mary.
Jason Branch.
Present.
Elizabeth Wybing.
Here.
Michael Howard.
Here.
Zach Saresek.
Here.
Georgianne Keyport.
Here.
Danielle High-Eye. Carly Stitch.
Here.
Terry Schworm.
Here.
Kevin Hill.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Moves us on to number 3, adopt agenda. Any changes anybody would like to make? Any comments on the agenda for this evening? If not, I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
I make the motion to adopt the agenda.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is adopted. Moving on to number 4, visitor presentations. Seeing none, we will move on to item, nobody online, right? I missed Zach earlier. No.
Doesn't appear to be.
Okay.
It's okay, buddy.
We'll move on to item number 5, approve previous meeting minutes. Would be approved September 9th, 2025 commission meeting minutes. Does anybody have any comments, changes, or anything on the minutes from September? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes?
I move to approve the previous September 9th, 2025 commission meeting minutes.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Previous meeting minutes are approved. Moves us on to item number 6, receive council and planning meeting minutes. 6A, city council meeting minutes from August, September, October, November, and December. It's a lot. Does anybody have any comments or concerns with the city council minutes from either of those months? Any discussion?
Planning.
Okay.
So remember last time, I think there was a planning item missing or
This was 2 times back.
2 times back. We just wanted to point out that that's been accounted for on the ones you received for tonight. Yeah,
Thank you.
so, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, 6B, planning meeting minutes. Any discussion, comments on the meeting minutes from planning commission? Hearing none, okay. We will consider those received. And that moves us on to item number 7, action items. And 7A, recommendation for city council appointment of the 2026 Park and Recreation Commission Chair.
Jason, I'd love for you to continue. You've done a great job, and I think it would be great if you're willing to do that.
It would be in my honor to do so. Anybody else?
That I'd move to appoint or recommend that Jason be appointed chair for 2026.
Second?
I'll second.
Everyone's going to second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Hey.
Okay, on to 7B, recommendation for city council appointment of the 2026 Park and Recreation Commission Vice Chair. And I would like to go ahead and right away and recommend Liz for the position, if you will have it.
Second.
Sorry, you beat me to it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be awesome to have Liz be back as vice.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah. Both you guys are super passionate about what's going on here, and you're involved, and you pay attention. I think you read all the meeting minute notes, too. You look like you read all of them.
I do read all of them. I read them at soccer this weekend.
This is why you should be the vice.
Almost got hit with the ball, but you know. It's all right.
Okay, then do I have a motion to recommend Liz Weinveen for the city council, or I'm sorry, for Parks and Recs Commission Vice Chair?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Congratulations.
To you too.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
It is. Thank you all. Okay, that moves us on to item number 8, discussion items. 8A, Marshall?
Yeah, so I have prepared some slides for tonight to go through a variety of updates. So I may just go ahead and share my screen. Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year, Marshall.
Happy New Year, Marshall.
Thank you, Jason and Liz, for your continued service in your roles, so appreciate that. Okay, slideshow from beginning. Are we seeing that? Yep, all right. Okay, so not necessarily in any particular order, but just kind of a variety of updates of things going on in the Parks and Recreation department, since it's been a little while since we've had a regular meeting. So first off, I got a few park updates. So looking here at Meadow Park, which we've talked about throughout the whole planning process. This is a picture of the playground, so that did get installed right before the snow flew earlier back in like November. But really kind of what's going to happen here is the remainder of that park will get built out next spring. So with this particular park, we're going to be having the pour and play surfacing coming in once the temperatures get warm enough to do that. We've got the shade structure that's going to come in on this site. We've got the fencing that's got to go in, the pavement of the trails, hookup of the irrigation, things like that. But our parks crew does a great job, and I think just it's really weather permitting and getting in there at some point in the spring to finish that out. And at some point next summer, we'll have that park to be able to celebrate and get people using it. It's coming along. Autumn Woods Neighborhood Park, we talked about that earlier this evening in a work session, but just to kind of give a high-level recap, we kicked off the community engagement for this park back in October with a neighborhood meeting. After that, we had an online survey available, which we saw over 100 responses. And so now staff are just working on putting together park plans that respond to the survey results that came back. And then we'll put those plans back up online. We're anticipating late January, early February. We'll notify the neighborhood that those are available. And there'll be the ability for people to comment on those plans. What do they like? What do they not like? What would they like to see different? And then we'll just sort of take that next round of feedback and prepare a preferred plan that we'd be bringing back before your commission, likely in March is probably the most realistic time frame for your recommendation to then go to City Council.
Okay, very good. And how will the residents be notified, just for everybody watching?
So we, through that survey, we're able to get people's email address, and then we'll also send out a postcard like we did, informing people of the initial meeting. So, And then we'll rely on a particular commissioner that lives in that neighborhood. All right, Southwest Park. So with this, for those of you that are viewing this online, I did give an update to our city council last week, Monday, and I went into depth on that. So I'm not going to go into the same depth here. But if you're interested and want to go see that, that is available online. I think what I'd say here, again, multiple conversations to get us to this point. We're now at a stage where we're really kind of honing in on the layout of the park, and this is really responding to the feedback we got from the community through a lot of robust community engagement. If you recall, that engagement helped shape 3 different concept plans that we put out for the community to react to, and then, based on that feedback, we've kind of whittled it down to this preferred plan, and I think it's really responding to everything quite nicely. It's got a nice mix of nature, play, and sport within it. I think, a couple of city council members had commented that they really like the direction this is going and that there seems to be something here for everybody, which was really the intent when we embarked on this, and for it to be a universal designed playground and overall park for people of all abilities and interests to really have a special place to go to and recreate. Probably the biggest point we heard from City Council when I provided that update was to look at the northwest corner a little bit more as it relates to the athletic field complexes. We did have a previous concept throughout our process that showed a larger square in that northwest corner, with the intention of that being turf and lined to have 2 soccer fields side by side, and then you could have 4 diamonds in each of the corners, and then a variety of other striping as well. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that as well, and really kind of treat that northwest corner as flexible in our planning as we go forward, just depending on where we land with that. Besides that, the real kind of core pieces of this park, and it's what we always started with and wanted to build around, was the destination-sized universal playground along with the Miracle League baseball field. And so you're seeing those here really kind of coming in the central part of the park, where it'll be easy access for people coming into the parking lot to get to those amenities. And then there's sort of the central plaza that would be between them, with a park building that would serve restroom functions, potentially concessions. Ideally we want to look at even some indoor programmable space. And it would be a year-round facility because it would also act as a warming house for the sledding hill that would be available in the winter as well. So one of the things we'll be doing going forward is hiring a separate building architect to start honing in on what the design of that building is going to look like. Some other key elements of the park include an amphitheater that would be built into the slope of the park adjacent to the playground. We are showing a water feature that could be just some spray jets coming from the ground. We're showing a bouldering wall, community garden area. We've got pickleball courts, basketball courts, a nature play area in the woods. Something that isn't being shown on here, but we're planning for is an 18-hole disc golf course that would primarily be in the southeast corner here and work its way up through the prairie. And we've got another separate parking lot that would help serve that, that function. And then we got several open play area nodes that would just be sort of that non-programmed grassy area for people to hang out and play some informal games and whatnot. And then a variety of shade structures that would be within those open lawn areas. So, you know, with that update with City Council and them generally liking the direction we're going, what we're doing is working towards a 30% designed plan. And that's really going to get us some more detail on what it's going to take to grade the site. Starts getting us some more detail on the various elements within the park. And then more importantly, gives us a little more ability to estimate what the costs are going to be. And so we'll do that work before we go through the formal process of bringing it back before you for your recommendation to City Council to, you know, approve it formally, to then say this is the direction we're going, and we're going to then continue designing around that all the way through construction plan documents. As far as timeline goes, you know, we're probably generally looking at March or realistically April is probably about when we'd be coming back with that 30% design for you. A couple other things, we are coordinating with our community development and engineering department as it relates to a housing development that's coming through on the west side of Savannah Way on the Holosic property. So they've submitted their concept plan into the city, and that will be going before the Planning Commission tomorrow night for their review and recommendation to City Council. And then it'll go to City Council on their Monday, January 26th meeting. So there's some coordination with that developer, primarily as it relates to access points from the park and then over to the development. So those discussions will continue. And then we've had recent conversation with leadership at the school as well, just knowing that there's future plans for an elementary school on the southwest corner of the site. And there are some things that they need to take into account for the school, such as stormwater requirements. So we're working with them to help navigate what those options are for them, and then again, just keeping them informed with the development that's coming in and just setting it up so that down the road when they're ready to look at that school, that they're set up for success when they get to that point.
Marshall?
Yep.
I apologize because I feel like I ask about this every time you bring up the school, but have they actually committed that they are for sure going to put a school there? I mean, school district enrollment here has dropped 10% in the last 6 years.
I mean, based on the meetings I've had, my understanding is that's what they're planning for.
Yeah,
Obviously, they still got to go through a referendum, and
for sure.
they've got a lot of other, I think, facility priorities that are more pertinent in the near future.
Yeah.
So this is definitely further out for them, which is making it difficult to come to the table and be definitive on things, but we're just being good partners with them, knowing that our timeline is now, and we're just trying to make sure that the edges we're creating are going to work for them,
No.
and they're happy about that.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I'm not a a cynic or anything like that, and I can't tell the future, but logistically, I just don't see how they ever put a school there. At some point, it seems to me like they're probably gonna just turn around and sell the property.
Yeah.
With all those homes being built, though, you could imagine.
The growth in Carver may drive it, though.
I don't know,
That-
they
yeah,
just,
so
they don't
do
have the enrollment to justify it unless they close Chan Elementary and put another elementary school there and then shift everybody over this way, but.
Yeah, maybe, I don't, we're talking like 3,000 more housing units in
Right.
Carver, so.
You know, that brings up another excellent question though about what, are new families coming in and buying these homes, or these people that are already, kids have already grown and moved out and they need an elementary school or not, you know?
I think it's a mix, but, yeah.
Another question for another day. I just wanted to, just curious if they've
Yeah,
given
no,
any
that's a
like
good question.
definitive stuff, because it seems to me like if their future school, it's still like 10 years out, and we were saying that like 6 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
Meaning that's still 10 years out. Every year, it's still 10 years out, you know?
Mhm.
Just curious.
And that's gonna be, and we're gonna be able to keep that site, I mean, are we gonna incorporate it in any way? Is it gonna be maintained? This area where the school is gonna be? You know, is there, I mean, I assume it's not gonna be just a patch of dirt that's sitting there until they put a school there, but is that, you know, is that gonna be maintained? And is that gonna be maintained by our city staff, or how's that gonna, again, these,
Most likely not. I mean, it's not our site, so.
right, so, I
Yeah.
mean, what's, okay, maybe,
Just be
and maybe I'm
wild.
overshooting, I mean, in my eyes, I see an overgrown jungle next to our beautiful park, but
Mhm. Yeah. And
that's obviously
That could be where the pollinators go.
Yeah, more
a bit dramatic,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
I mean, just something that,
And maybe there is something where, you know, we consider putting in grass for the time being, and then
yeah.
Maybe they'll loan it to us for a while.
we'll see. Yep.
We'll
Yep.
let the pollinators have their revenge over
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, that's-
thinking what
that's
I'm
a good-
hearing here right now.
That's a good lead-in for the record here, Sad.
Hearing here right now.
Kind of looking at the park, when we had surveyed the
Love it.
community about potential themes for the park, a large percentage of people really kind of honed in on the nature opportunities within the park and suggested different ideas. And the consultants we're working with had come forward with this idea around a pollinator's revenge as something for us to consider, and as staff, we've talked about it, and we really like this idea. You know, I think there's a story to be told here with the site, you know, prior to it being the current agricultural site that it is. It was a lot of prairie and a lot of forest. And now that we're going to be converting that to parkland with a focus on bringing back nature and restoring that, you know, it's sort of full circle where we can help create that habitat for these pollinators to sort of come back and revenge, so to speak, or return, which is neat. And you can see there the importance of pollinators on the sustainability of the pollinating type plants and our food system. So it's critical. And there's a lot of neat creatures that, you know, kids like to learn about, a lot of educational opportunities for us to work with. And here's this kind of showing some colorful ways we could do that in some different design and education options. We did meet with landscape structures last week as a team to start honing in on the playground design, and brought forward to them this idea of pollinators for some ideas to flow and for them to start putting some things together for us. So they're going to be working on that. Through that discussion, we did land on sort of this potential focus on the bee in particular, and utilizing the bee to create a statement piece for the playground with a custom type of a structure, and the potential for just some neat marketing that can come through that. We'll hit that later. Okay, moving on. I guess any questions regarding the park or the theme that you have before I move on? We're good? Okay. All right, next up, Chaska Rocks. So here is depicting a shift in one of our community events that we've done the last couple of years, which you've known as Chaska Cares, the Chaska Cares Music Fest that we've typically conducted the last couple of years was in September. And it was the last community event of the summer that we would typically do. And we built it up over the last few years, and it's been a successful event, but it's not quite performing from a fundraising standpoint that we would like it to be, based in comparison to the amount of staff effort and planning going into it. And so this is in partnership with our local Chaska Rotary Club, and we've had some meetings with them and felt like maybe just a change in how we're looking at it could produce some different results. And so the thought here is we're gonna sort of kick off our summer programming with this event in June and rebrand it as Chaska Rocks. And probably be bringing in more of what we would say that cover band style of music that, you know, really attracts a lot of people. And I think that will play out earlier in the summer versus later in the summer. By the end of summer, everybody's seen all the cover bands, you know, and so it's nothing too exciting anymore. But kicking off summer, I think, can really attract people. Whereas in our previous Chaska Cares events, we were leaning into more original artists. And as much as I think original artists is really cool and unique to bring to Chaska, they're expensive to book, and it's just tough to get the marketing out there if people don't know who they are. So for a little bit lower cost, we can bring in a really good cover band and bring in a lot of people and just sort of kick off the summer. And this year, we've already booked with Arch Allies. They've been here in the past for Fire and Ice. They do a really good job. I think it's like Def Leppard and Bon Jovi and Styx and REO Speedwagon type covers. We're working on securing an opener, and then the other thought would be to start off the afternoon, we would partner with our local schools and the music departments and try to do like a battle of the bands type of an event with the middle schoolers and high schoolers.
Yeah.
Rocks.
So
They have
kind
an
of that
awesome garage
Chaska
band.
Rocks.
Middle
Yeah.
schools have an awesome garage band program, and they
Yeah.
had, Middle School West had their talent show Friday night, and there were several of the garage bands that played. They're fantastic. And these are 6th through 8th graders.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
And they bring out their parents and family and friends and, yep.
That's a great
yep.
idea. I love it.
Yeah. And
So yeah, we're excited about it, and planning is starting to come along. So you'll see more as we go.
you thinking like the same format of Fire and Ice for the music, like in terms of like the setup and have like food and stuff out there and everything? And
Yep. Out at Fireman's Park. Yep.
awesome.
Is there, oh man, that park, boy, when it gets packed, I feel like there has to be some creativity that goes into there a little bit. not that, again, I would never say that you guys aren't doing a phenomenal job, because you do a phenomenal job. But when it gets really busy, those lines for some of like the food trucks,
Oh,
how it starts to meander into the crowd and you got crossing over happening. I mean, I wish we could just close down 41 and put all the food trucks out there.
Yeah.
You know, maybe
Yeah.
someday when we're huge, but, oh man, there's gotta be something.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's helped is just trying to fit more food trucks in there,
Yeah.
you know,
right.
and that's helped minimize lines to some degree. So,
Oh, sure.
we've been-
With, yeah.
yep.
Mhm. Okay.
Do we organize any, like, prepaid sort of busing, transportation from different areas in the city so that people can get a safe ride down, have fun, and get a safe ride somewhere close to home? Have we ever thought
Well,
of doing
we've done
something?
that with Southwest Transit
Okay,
at some of our events, yep. And they've been really good partners for us, so yeah. Yep.
Fireworks at this one?
No fireworks at this one. No.
Excuse me, is this thing on? Fireworks at this one, Marshall? That was not a question, that was a statement. So. Fireworks are great at these things.
They are, but I think, you know, right now we're trying to contain our costs because it's a fundraiser.
Yeah.
But I get it. There's also the argument that the fireworks bring people in, so
We'll find a sponsor for the fireworks
Yeah.
this year, okay?
there you go.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's not too far away.
Yep.
Well, Marshall, we'll take care of
yeah, we got it.
Park and Rec Commission has got you covered, Marshall.
Right, all right.
Just don't tell the police chief and we'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Park and Rec Commission cares, okay? We got the fireworks.
Okay.
And our new slogan.
I'm moving on to the next slide. All right. Community Center Plan, Community Center Master Plan Update. So I wanted to bring this forward just to let you know that I think this is the year where we're going to start, you know, bringing this back forward again, right? So we went through an awesome process to create a great vision for the community center. That vision got approved by City Council back in 2024. Between then and now, we kind of knew we would just be in a little bit of a holding pattern because we really got to figure out, you know, how we're going to finance the improvements. And if you recall, at the time, we had started to talk about the idea of a local option sales tax, which has been a successful tool that a lot of other cities have been able to take advantage of. Well, at the time that our plan got approved back in 2024, the state legislature put a moratorium on that option, which lasted a little over a year, I believe. Now it's such, though, that moratorium is lifted, and the understanding is that nothing really changed as part of that moratorium, so I think that tool is available for us to explore again. But beyond that, the other thing that I would share is every year we have a two-day retreat with our city council and our city administrator and then all of the department heads. And it's during those 2 days where we really look into the future and come up with a strategic plan and set priorities. And as you all know, a lot of the priorities over the last 4 years has also been the variety of building projects, city buildings that have needed to get built. From the public safety facility to the public works facility, and then the future library, and then remodel of City Hall. This year was the final, kind of the fourth incremental increase in property taxes for that program to continue to move forward. So now that that's sort of accounted for, our city administrator has indicated that at this upcoming city council retreat, he really wants to bring back the community center and dive in on that with city council and start to strategize what the funding is going to look like. So more to come. I think it's good to just know that, you know, we're still pursuing it. I shared this picture as a reminder. I know we went on the tour a while back, and the theme of the tour was the facility leaks. Well, this is a picture just from a week ago when we had warmer weather. It was raining, kind of sleeting in the morning, and we had a lot of snow melt. And this is what staff came into in the morning with water all over the floor. So this is obviously coming from the roof, penetrating down the wall, and then seeping out onto our floor. So there's things we need to resolve just from kind of the standpoint of ensuring the long-term sustainability of that building.
This is just unacceptable looking, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah, these are,
Safety issues.
how can people
I was,
come here and enjoy their activity?
Yeah, I mean, it starts to become a safety issue, becomes a major staffing challenge, you know, chasing these leaks and doing the best we can to minimize those safety hazards. But I think it, you know,
So
it just demonstrates the need that we gotta start accounting for that piece of it sooner than later.
So it was interesting to me going in there, and when you walk coming down the stairs and you walk through here and you go over towards the gym, towards like the fitness area, and you see them like, there's like leaks coming through, and I'm like, but we're in the basement, we're in the lower level, leaks are coming through here. We got problems,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yep.
Yeah. How old is that building now? Is it like 35 years old now? 34?
34, 35,
Yeah.
yeah, yep. So, and the leaking has been going on for about 30 of those.
didn't they say the one in the rotunda was leaking like the first summer
Yeah,
during the tour?
yep, yep. So,
When it opened, there wasn't a pool.
I thought this was after Zach's workout.
Yeah. That's for me walking up the stairs.
your flippers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, no, I mean, I'm excited to, you know, have the opportunity to spend some time with city council and just, again,
Yep.
present, you know, the challenges we're facing and, you know, more importantly, to start strategizing what the future is going to hold.
And I'd say too, all of us on this commission would 100% back you up and come to that meeting too, to just clarify that the community wants this.
Yeah,
and it
okay,
needs to happen.
yeah, yeah. I'll note that to our city administrator. Let's see, 10-year anniversary celebration at the Chaska Curling and Event Center. Super exciting. That facility opened in December of 2015. So, I mean, technically the anniversary passed, but, you know, it predominantly took off throughout 2016. So we're going to take this year to celebrate that. You can see the logo on the left there. We'll be incorporating that logo on more things as we go. We've got some, you know, fun giveaways to give to our members, things of that nature. We'll be, you know, really highlighting the Fire and Ice Festival this summer as well as part of that 10-year anniversary. And then I'm just showing in the event center, we budgetarily got approved for new carpeting and new banquet chairs. So you're seeing what that's going to look like there in the forefront of that image. So we're going to do away with the purple circles and the purple chairs and go a little more gray tone, black, some nice wood chairs. I think it's going to look really sharp. So staff have done a really good job going through the variety of options and coming up with a recommendation, and then working with the installers to get this prepared, which we're looking at end of January and early part of February for that to happen. The carpet replacement will be essentially the entire facility, so not only the event center, it'll be the staging area and the hallway, the atrium, and then down towards the locker rooms as well. So,
It's all tile carpeting?
what's that?
So like tile carpeting?
Yep, large square carpeting, which we found is nice, just to be able to replace as needed.
Super easy.
So it's great that we're able to reinvest back into that facility at the 10-year mark and just keep it fresh and, you know, keeping it kind of that high-quality experience that people expect out of that.
What's the timing on making those changes? Or is it already done?
End of January, early February.
Okay.
Yep,
Excellent.
so
Is there any
coming up.
plan to ride the momentum of the Winter Olympics with anything with the curling center or anything like that?
Yeah, I got a slide on that coming up.
Hey, whoa,
Yes.
Chair Branch.
You are reading my mind. Look at that. So yes, it's going to be exciting Winter Olympics and the tie-in to curling, and the fact that we've got representation on Team USA in the Olympics. So in the top left-hand corner there is Team Casper, and Team Casper identifies their home club as the Chaska Curling Center. So you can see in the image here, at one of their qualifying events, you know, they got our logo on their sleeve that they've been wearing. So we're super excited about that connection. There was a recent article in the Carver County Online News. They were able to connect with some of the players, and they gave a lot of accolades to our facility and how much it's meant to them throughout their training and things like that. And then you got Team Peterson below for the women's. Their home club is St. Paul Curling Center, but there's an individual here that I'm circling. Her name's Taylor Anderson Hyde, who's on the team, and she happens to be a Chaska resident and works at our facility. So when she's not competing, she actually assists Scott Belvich with some ice maintenance. So we'll be, you know,
That's great.
rooting all of them on. If you're interested, this Sunday, both of those teams are going to be at the facility from 5 to 6. And we're just doing sort of an informal communication that will go out to our curling center members, encouraging them to come to the Crooked Pint and observe. I think they're going to be doing a practice. And then representatives from USA Curling will be there to issue them their USA uniform. So kind of an unveiling of the uniform. And then I think the hope is that they would come into the Crooked Pint and do some meet and greets and things like that, because I think they literally fly out the next day over to Italy. So that'll be super neat. And then the graphics you're seeing here on the rest of the page, those are going to be huge window decals that we're going to be putting in the players' lounge that are going to be visible on the outside. So people driving by the building are going to see these graphics on the windows, which would be super cool.
Is there any way you could put those on the east side of the building that face out to 41?
Yeah, I think that's I think that's the intent.
Not just the south side of the building, but like,
I think there's, technically, I'm only showing 3 of them here. I think there's 6 of them.
oh, sweet.
So some are going to be visible inside, and then there's going to be others to the outside.
Yeah, those are, if you've ever driven by Heartbreakers, they have those on their windows, the silhouettes. It looks like their entire establishment is full, but, you know, guests can see out of it. You can't see in it, but you just drive by. It just looks cool.
Yeah,
It adds
yep.
something, and especially this that's tied to the facility. That's
Tied in.
awesome.
Yep. So yeah, it's going to be fun to cheer them on throughout the Olympics, and I think having the games on within the Cricket Pint and such, and maybe coordinating some watch parties and stuff, all that.
What's the time difference
Be
between
fun.
here and there? 14? Is it 14 hours? Usually?
No, it's like 6 hours.
Let's see here, Chaska Today newsletter, moving on. So this is a new initiative with our communications department. I think they put out a couple editions thus far. The intent is for this to go out every 2 months. We've partnered with them to get space in the middle of the newsletter. So you're seeing there on the right, the most recent one that came out. So we got some nice space for us to be able to communicate things out to the community, which is huge for us, especially now that we don't have the Chaska Herald like we did in the past. One thing you're going to see going forward is a little more intentionality with our department, talking about wellness and the different dimensions of wellness and the role we play as a department, along with the city to have an impact on not only individual wellness, but when you think of community wellness. And so we wrote up a kind of a introduction article that's going to be coming out in the next edition, and then the plan will be to build on that in future editions going forward, and then tie it to what we're doing in our department and highlighting staff that work in various areas and things. So we kind of want to make it a little bit more engaging versus just promotional, so to speak, and do a little bit of both. But
Like wellness tips and that kind of stuff?
yep,
Like Missy Goff, like
Maybe
doing
resources.
do this and this for daily,
yeah,
stuff like that?
yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think there's an opportunity to, over time, talk about the dimensions outside of what people just kind of assume, which is more of the physical wellness, right, within Park and Recreation. And in fact, in the article that's coming out, we kind of talk a little bit more about environmental wellness is a big role that we play. And I know a lot of times people think of environmental wellness as, nature, which is true. But another big piece to environmental wellness is your home, and your community and the environment you live in, and the facilities that we maintain and manage, and the experience that we're providing people when they come into our facilities and the programs they're participating in. That's part of the environment we're creating, So that's kind of a big piece of what I see our department doing is we create the environment in the programming and the promotion to invite people into it, which then leads towards improved health and wellness for them. But then there's, social wellness, intellectual wellness, spiritual wellness. And we think we play a role in all of them. And we wanted to start highlighting that a little bit more going forward. We've talked about this in the past too, but just an update regarding Finley Sport, which would be a new recreation software management for our department that we're working on. What you're seeing there is the start to what would be the public-facing welcome page for people to go on and create their account and view activities and things like that. But this will really serve as really our entire operating software for our department. So think about activity registration, facility reservations, membership management, league scheduling and league management, communication, point of sale transactions, and then all of our financial reporting and integration with our finance department. So it is a huge undertaking to get this, set up and configured on the back end. And so big thank you to the staff. This is kind of all hands on deck effort, but I think in the long run, we're doing it ultimately because we think it's going to provide a better service to the community, a better experience online to register for things and purchase things. And I think it'll also be a better experience for our staff. Just the intuitiveness of their software, I think is going to be improved. And then probably another feature that I'm excited about, and I know a lot of other staff are, just more of the reporting capabilities and just accessing data to help inform future decisions, I think is going to be improved compared to the platform we're on now. So, still a moving target, but the leadership team did meet earlier this week, and I think we're honing in on a July 7th as a target to launch that. So we're going to kind of keep working towards that. But that would align with our fall registration period is essentially kind of what we're building that around. And we think that between now and then should be enough time for us to get up and running with it. So more to come.
Are you going to have anybody on the consumer side of it test it out and give feedback on it before you go live with it?
That's a good idea.
I know somebody who's not here right now would probably be
Yeah,
ideal for
I think that's a good idea.
something like that.
I mean, we obviously are going to test it thoroughly internally, but sometimes when we're looking at it and staring at it, we don't see things that somebody else might not.
That's exactly why I highly suggest and recommend that we get a group of users to just test it out, to just give you their honest feedback. And
Yeah.
it might be all stuff you already know, but it's possible you might learn something right out of the bat that doesn't give you a healthcare.gov type of a feel out of it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, no, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And one thing we've found is Finley Sport has been very receptive at developing enhancements, so the feedback we would get, likely we would share it with them, and they would definitely consider that as an enhancement
Yeah.
to customize it for us.
Yeah.
Is there cost savings to switching to this too, or is it just purely to get better reporting, functionality, user experience?
Actually, there would be cost savings too. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of benefit in moving this direction. Yep.
Is it enough to pay for fireworks?
Bringing back.
Impact to the experience coming in, right now when you come in to use the facility, you have a little card. Does any of this impact that, or is that gonna all be pretty much the same?
Like a membership card?
Yeah, when you come in to use the facility, would that entrance into it be impacted by this new software? Is it pretty much?
Be pretty much the same.
Same,
Yeah, so
okay.
the intent will still be to have membership card where people would still scan in. There will be the ability, though, for there to be a QR code, so if people wanted it on their phone, they can just
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
that would be
code.
nice.
That would be
Kinda do
huge.
that.
People lose
Huge
their
for us.
cards all the time.
And then
It's sad.
they're developing an app as we speak, too.
Okay,
So that's supposed to be coming out sometime in the spring, so we're going to have access to the app, and so I think there's going to be a lot of nice features that are maybe better on the mobile phone, too.
right,
Yeah.
a digital
That'd be great.
type would be
Yeah.
really helpful.
Yeah.
Great.
So this is delayed. I think maybe last time we met, you guys were maybe thinking about pushing this to go December, but decision was made to push it.
Yeah, yep. We were under a tight timeline, but we were able to negotiate with our current platform to extend the time, so, yep. All right, highlight a couple things that happened recently. So this last Saturday, staff put on a health and wellness expo at the community center in conjunction with the Southwest Chamber. So the chamber really programmed the gym and brought in a lot of our business community, and they brought in, I think, over 50 vendors for people to go peruse through and get information. And then our staff just did a great job having information on the variety of things we offer. People were able to go down to the lodge and our Treks and Trails area to learn about respective opportunities there. And then the day also included an open house, so the community was able to access the community center for free throughout the afternoon. Use the pool, ice skating, you name it. So there you're seeing the staff that were there that day to assist with all of the people coming through. It was a great event. I had the opportunity to come in. Parking lot was packed. People were swarming to find a spot, which I know people don't like that, but I kind of smile. It means there's a lot of good activity going on. And it was the second year, and I think it was bigger than last year, and I think it's just something we'll keep building on. And it's kind of a great way to launch the new year to tie in that health and wellness theme as well. And then also last weekend, the Curling Center hosted the Big Spiel. So you're seeing Clay, one of our staff members there. He really wanted me to get a picture of him to kind of hone in on that scarf, because he actually was part of the championship team back in, I think it was 2019. Their team won this Big Spiel, which it's a pretty big deal. But if you didn't know, the Big Spiel, it starts Thursday night, goes through the weekend, and there's multiple curling clubs throughout the metro area, ours included, but then it's St. Paul, Frogtown, and Blaine. And part of the event is teams get guaranteed a game at each of the facilities. So it's kind of fun. They get to rotate and experience them all. And you're seeing the huge bracket there on the window that Clay was updating at the time I was there. But good energy. 96 teams participate in it, so it brings a lot of people into our facility. So great job to the staff for doing that. And then a couple things to look forward to. Coming up on Monday is Martin Luther King Day. So our Human Rights Commission puts on an event every year, a breakfast at the event center. So that's 7:45 to 9 in the morning. Encourage you to attend it if you're able to. If you're not, there also is an option to watch it online. You can access that on the website. But there they recognize recipients of the Chaska Human Rights Award. And then this year, the keynote speaker will be Ethelind Kaba, who's the executive director for the Anne Bancroft Foundation. And I've come to that in the past, and it's just a really good event. Keynote speakers are always good, and things like that. And just the fact that our community does this, I think, is pretty special, and takes the time to do it. So encourage you to attend it. And then the other one to highlight, looking in the near future, would be on Wednesday, January 28th, our mayor, Taylor Hubbard, is going to be delivering the first ever State of the City event at the Chaska Community Center within the theater. And that'll take place from 6 to 7:30. It'll start off with her presentation, which I think is going to be about a half hour, 45 minutes. It's really to kind of highlight the things that happened in 2025, and then talk about things that the city is planning for throughout 2026. And then afterwards, every department is going to have a table with information out in our art gallery So those who attend can come through and meet with city staff and get any information that they want. So encourage you to attend that as well.
We've never done that before?
Not one with this type of format. So in the past, the Southwest Chamber has always hosted a luncheon during the week at the event center. And it's included our neighboring cities as well. And because of that format, each mayor only has about 20 minutes or so to talk. And so this one's going to be just a little bit more of a dedicated address focused on Chaska and allowing more time
That's awesome.
for the mayor to talk through things. So, all right, that is it for my updates.
Thank you, Marshall. Okay, that moves us on to item number 9, other business, and 9A, the round table. Kevin, we will start on your end.
I've got nothing.
Nothing? Okay,
Just Happy New Year to
all
everyone.
right.
I was just gonna say, I did attend that Health and Wellness Expo as well, and it was well done. It was, for a second year, I thought they did a nice job, a wide breadth of different vendors. So there was something there for everyone, so it was well done.
I enjoy getting the Chaska newsletter that you were kind of talking about. Interesting tidbits in there. I don't know if it was there or if it was actually in the city council meeting minutes, but I saw that Chaska won a water award for having really clean water, and I really liked that. I thought that was impressive. I drink regular tap water, so I appreciate that, and it kind of goes to the wellness and everything that we support. So I thought that was interesting. I did drive past Meadow Park with my 8-year-old in the car this past weekend, and that park, it looks so different than I think a lot of our other parks that really got her attention, and she's super excited to go play there.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
I was a little in shock because I was like, yeah, that's what we landed on. It's really different, but it must look fun to play on. So that's good.
Yeah.
And then summer camp signups are already happening. So I think the community center has Extreme Kids. My kids have attended that program in the past for a year or so. It's a great program. I'm sure maybe the signups already occurred, but it's just really hard to get your kid in all these various camps and on time, and you got to be the sign up right as it hits. So I understand the importance of the software that you guys are working with and dealing with, getting that up and going. But yeah, lots going on, lots of fun things happening. So thanks for all that you shared.
Great.
Sarah?
A couple things for me. I was going to mention something about Meadow Park because, I drive by there now, obviously because the road's open, because, you can drive by there now. But I walk by there a lot as well. And it's just so cool, walking by there and seeing the public safety campus come to light. And then just literally the other day, I just looked over and I'm like, I still think it looks like the Octonaut space. But it was so cool, just walking by there because of that very thing. It catches your eye. And I think on that side, because on the front side facing Angler, you see all the doors for the fire trucks, and then it's like, oh wow, and they're just like, oh, is that where the fire trucks come in and out, and you get on the other side and you see that, it's awesome, they've got the nameplate up there now, and it's public safety campus, and then you look over and you're like, oh, what's that? And it's this playground. I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
But seeing it over the last, especially over the last however many months, seeing the progress, even in these, because we haven't, they've been able to do some work on it over the winter, obviously, but now you can see them working inside, and it's really cool seeing it come to light. I want to thank Jason and Liz for stepping up and being P and VP again. So, I think you guys do a great job, and wonderful, community members and advocates for the community on this, and I think there's a thoroughness that you both bring to this that I think is really necessary and appreciated. So I know it's extra work for you guys, both have families, jobs, all that stuff, but it's really appreciated, so thanks for doing that again. You know, and the last thing I wanted to share is that, you know, I think now, you know, we talk a lot about community, and I think now more than ever, a lot of our community needs our community right now. With a lot of the federal, we'll call it, you know, action in our community right now. You guys almost didn't have a restaurant at the big spiel this weekend because our entire staff that is Latino that live here in our community are so scared they don't want to leave their houses right now. So I don't ever want to forget that. You know, I think I love living here. I think it's wonderful, but we have a lot of community members out there, you know, families and friends of my children who are scared to go to school right now, you know, and it's really hard, you know,
Yeah.
to see, because I work with a lot of people, and obviously we all do. We know a lot of people, but I think our community really needs our community right now. And I think that so far, it's been really nice to see the community rally around our community that needs us right now. I just don't ever want to forget that.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
everybody's here for different reasons, but I think we're all here for one common thing, and that is community.
yeah,
So I just wanted to share that, so,
yeah, find ways we can just keep helping each other out.
yeah, 100%. Just got to have each other's backs.
Mhm.
Thank you for saying something about
Yeah,
that.
nice
Yeah.
sentiment, Jay.
Yeah, well
Yeah.
said.
Good, okay. Terry,
I don't have anything either.
from you? Okay. Yeah, nothing from me major tonight, just piggyback Zach, just love each other. Love each other and go out and try and enjoy a park in the wintertime. How about that?
Good advice.
Anybody else? Mary, anything from you?
No,
No?
no, Happy New Year and
Thank
get
you.
out in the parks.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Okay, with that said, that brings us to item number 10, and that's adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Recording stopped.